Warning: the following video contains explicit sexual content. Viewer discretion advice.
I think it's good because not a lot of bigger girls have that.
I think the confidence and the self-love that comes with it.
Yes.
It's a huge, huge thing to be able to confidently say that you possess. And it didn't just come naturally. I used to be, so I have 5 kids, and before that, I was like 130 pounds.
Yeah.
So again, no judgment for what you like, for me, it was like, no, thank you. This person very adamantly wanted me to boo-boo on camera, take a shit. Yes. And no, we don't. And that's something we need to stop doing, I think, collectively. It's feeling like we owe anything to other people. But, look at how we were raised. Look at the time we grew up in. That. And that's a huge thing, being, in, social media in the way that I am. I have just stopped. Okay, so for instance, I hate saying that because, to me, I think women are just beautiful for who they are, you said. But it's a very real thing. And it's still more socially acceptable to be nude as a skinny woman as opposed to nude or even partially covered up as a bigger woman.
Yeah.
Why?
Las opiniones expresadas en este podcast son responsabilidad de cada uno de los participantes.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are the responsibility of each participant.
Letty's podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of my podcast. I am your host Letty, and today I have Gigi, also known as Cameron Cakes.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
That's the real question.
How do you feel?
I got stuck with this stupid virus over Christmas. Literally, me and all of my kids had it at the same time. So it's now it's lingering.
Yeah.
Trying to get back. I was able to go back to work, okay? So that was
I know.
Great,
I feel like it's the timing.
It is. And it's if it's not one thing, it's another. Yeah. Every year I feel like we have a new one coming out. New virus. It's super awesome. But.
Yeah. And Gigi is a plus size model influencer.
Yes, I am.
That's awesome. I like that.
Thank you. It's kind of been a roller coaster as far as owning that, but I think I like it. I like that. I love it, actually. So.
I think it's good because not a lot of bigger girls have that. Just that. I don't know. Is it
I think the confidence and the self-love that comes with it.
Yes.
It's a huge, huge thing to be able to confidently say that you possess. And it didn't just come naturally. I used to be, so I have 5 kids, and before that, I was 130 pounds.
Yeah.
Tiny. I mean, I've always been thicker, especially in the bottom half. And, being younger when, what was that, in high school, it was 2004, 2005. You have the low-rise jeans. I could never wear those because my ass was just, there's low-rise made it halfway to your crack, and then that was it. And so, and then I worked at Hooters, and
oh, you worked at
Hooters? I was a Hooters girl for a few years, and I loved my bosses, but even then they would, I was in the largest size that we had, which was considered a small, that was the actual sizing, was a small.
Yeah.
There's extra, extra small, and then small being the largest. And I mean, it's just all out. And so they're we need you to lose a little bit of weight. And I mean, you get that when you're in that kind of industry, it's all about image. And at times that was hard because I was actually working. I got hired when I was pregnant, and I didn't know I was pregnant. So working pregnant and then having to lose that weight to be able to come back to work, it mentally can take a toll.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to already fit in. And you take that time versus now where it's almost like plus size women are trending,
Yes.
but the hate that also comes with that
I
can
know.
get with like, I mean, some of the messages I have received over the years have, you know, been hard to say the
Yeah.
least. But with owning the plus size mindset and comfortability and confidence, like I look at it in a sense where I have daughters.
Yeah.
One of my daughters is 5'8", and you know, like she's a thicker girl too, and I love it. I think she's so beautiful,
Yeah.
but she's had crap given to her too, and I'm just like, no, that that does, people don't matter. Do you love yourself? Do you love what you see? Do you like who you are? You know,
Yeah.
those are the important questions. And when you have a platform like this, it's easy to compare yourself or be compared. For me, like letting my kids know, especially my daughters, like your opinion's the only one that matters.
Yeah.
I had to own that because what kind of example am I setting? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that aspect alone. And if I'm being honest, my favorite fans are the women who are like, girl, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like you wear a crop top, you wear things that you like that are so cute. And I never in a million years would have even bought one, but I seen yours, you did it. You pushed me to learn to love myself and to step out of the normal boundaries of what's expected by society. And that right there, honestly, is what makes me the happiest
Yeah.
in the influencer aspect, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's nice because you do have to learn how to love your body.
Yeah.
And if you don't love your body, you're not gonna expose it,
No,
you
yeah,
know?
exactly. And it's not even like yes, my pictures that I've done, and obviously, you know, it all started out to make money with OnlyFans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But over time it changed to where I was like, no, I like this. And can I just say something that I don't mean it in a conceited or narcissistic way, but I like attention.
Yeah.
Like people disagree when I say this, but it's like, why do we post pictures?
Yeah.
Honestly, like why does anybody post, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Snap? We post it because we're looking for some type of attention, maybe validation or whatever, but for the time that that's up, we're looking for some type of attention, correct?
Yeah.
A lot of people are just not comfortable or have the balls to say, I like the attention.
Yeah.
And I do. Like, I'm sorry. I've been that way since I was a little girl, literally. Like, literally since I was little.
But that might also help you.
Yeah.
That might also help you in the fact that you're like posting, you know, it doesn't matter the way you look, however you
yeah.
look, you're posting it.
Yes.
And it's probably like that is helping you get that self-love
Exactly.
back.
Exactly.
So not only do you want to get attention, but it's also helping you
Yes.
get self-love for
Yeah.
yourself. And I think that's how, because I've thought about it too. I'm like, man, I could be a model, like a plus size model.
Yes,
Like, why
yes.
not?
Well, one, you're beautiful.
But then
so absolutely.
I'm like, oh no, but that's when I need to love myself.
Yep.
And I think I need more. Like, I'm not there yet, but I'm like, why not?
Exactly. Because,
not?
I mean, look at it like this. Like, so obviously I have a husband, right? And the biggest thing I get is, you're married, you're a mom. Like, why are you doing this? I mean, I've lost friends, a lot of, you know what I mean? Like, for multiple reasons, but that has always kind of been brought up. And it's like, what does that have to do with me? Before I was a mom, before I was a wife, I was Gigi. Like, that's me. And if I'm not able or capable of loving myself in whatever form or presentation it comes out as, like, it's still love, right?
Yeah.
My husband is my biggest fan.
But it's also, you're being yourself.
And I'm being, exactly.
You're not going
I'm
to change
unapologetically
because,
me. And I don't care who does or doesn't like that because I'm not doing it for you. I don't wear makeup for other people. I do it because I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. Like, it's different. I've always been one to step outside of those boundaries that are set by society or family, whatever it may be. But like, that's just me. I have a shit ton of clothes and shoes because I like shoes and clothes. I don't wear it for my husband. I don't wear it for this guy or this. And if we're being honest, girl to girl, how many times do we get dressed and think in our head, it's for the girls because we know that we're our biggest, like we judge each other more than anyone, right?
Yeah.
Like, is it messed up to say? Yes. But let's just be real.
Yeah.
Like, I don't dress up for the attention of men. I dress up because
the other girl's gonna be like, she's wearing those shoes. I want them too.
Yes, or some exactly.
Yeah.
Like let's just be real. Like keep it a buck. Like I could care less what men say about me. Like I'm not looking for it, but like at the same time, like I think I'm attractive.
Yeah.
Who cares what you say? My husband, he cracks me up because he'll be like, shit, I'm worried if they're not like looking at you or staring at you or checking you out. Like they're supposed to.
Yeah.
You're hot. You're this or that. And it's like, we're different though in a lot of ways.
But that's
still,
good.
It's a comfortability
It's also
and
like
trust. Like,
helps you build that
yes,
trust.
exactly. And I'm not saying you need a man or a woman or anything like that to validate that, but it does help when a husband especially can say, you know what, she's doing her. Like, I'm here to support her and whatever that may look like. And it sets one of the best examples for our daughters because they're looking to him like, yeah, that I want a man that's not going to try to control what I wear or how I dress. And not that that's a bad thing. If it works for you, it works for you. Me, I've just never been one to let a man tell me what I can and can't do. I'm respectful, don't get it wrong. But like at the same time, like, I don't care if you don't like it. Like,
you're not going to change.
Yeah, like this is me. I dressed like this before we met. Like, I'm not going to change because you're insecure or you have some first century weirdo stuff going on in your head. Like, But yeah, I mean, and I think too, going from where you're talking about Cameron Cakes.
Oh, yes.
And Gigi, for the longest time, I had kept that, like, I started with that name. Fun fact, I used to be a stripper.
Oh, okay.
For a very short period of time, but my stage name was Cameron. And a friend of mine was like, you should do cakes because your ass is fat. You know, like I was like, all right, I like that, good. And so I did it to separate one, like my safety, because that's a huge thing. I mean, hell, even at Hooters, we had stalker issues. You know, like creeps just don't know where the line is to not cross. Yeah. But the Cameron Cakes thing is definitely, I'm not that person anymore.
Yeah. And
I just think it's time for me to be comfortable in owning who I am in the sense of Gigi. You know what I mean? Like, Gigi, I go by Peachy a lot. I don't know if you've seen my car plate. Yeah. So my real name is Georgie.
Okay.
Growing up, they always call me Georgie Peachy. Peachy, Georgia Peach. That whole tie. I've had that nickname since I was little, but I think I'm just ready to step in to who I actually am and stop hiding behind the name and rebranding. Like, yes, I'm very sex positive. I love looking at women's bodies. Like, I think they're beautiful, any shape or form, however that looks. And for me, it's just, I'm not Cameron anymore, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So you would say like that was your name when you were a stripper?
A stripper, yeah. Yeah. So it was, we use stage names for so many reasons. Yes. But like, it doesn't resonate with me anymore. Like, I still want to post and make the risque photo shoots. But for me, it's more so, like you said, body positive and plus size. Like, I love clothes. I love shoes. Like, and I love keeping things real with people. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't need to hide behind the filters or the, the fake name person, like all of that. Like, I'm just ready to be me.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with being an OnlyFans, I don't know what, employee or, but for me, it was exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
Girl. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my fans. I love my followers, supporters, and I love talking to people. But for me, like, I think I'm more of a, well, it's not that I think, I'm more of a substance person. Like you're paying for a service.
Yeah.
Whether that be me making a video of whatever wild fantasy you have, which that alone in itself was exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
When
I
people
bet.
pay you for that kind of stuff, they expect to have, you know, your undivided attention. And that means responding to messages right away, or, you know, just stopping what you're doing. And while I would love to do that for everyone, it's not realistic. I have 5 kids.
Yeah.
I have a home. I have a job, like a real job outside of, you know, the social media stuff. And everyone's like, well, why don't you could be making hundreds of thousands doing social media. And I'm like, the emotional toll that it takes on people, I don't think is healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be on all the time. And you, like, I don't like staring at my phone all the time. Like, I like to be in person and present, and I can't do that and be a good mom at the same time. Not that moms who do that aren't good moms. For me,
Yeah.
I don't feel like I fulfill that duty in the ways that I have expectations to do. So, you know, I had to stop. And again, not judging, but some of the shit that I got asked to do
Was
wild.
really
Wild.
wow.
I mean, like, to the point where I was just like, I had put my phone down one time. Can I share about one?
Yeah.
Okay, so again, no judgment for what you like,
For
but
what-
for me, it was like, no, thank you. This person very adamantly wanted me to boo-boo on camera, you know, take a shit.
Like-
Yeah. Yes. And
And what?
yeah. Yeah, that was, I couldn't get past that one. Like,
Oh my gosh. But they were going to pay you.
yeah, just
taking a-
yes, for me to record myself taking a dookie on camera. And I'm just like, yeah, that's a no. And then it kind of turned a little volatile on their part, and it kind of got scary. Like, if I'm being honest, like, it's just like to have to, you know, and I'm polite about it. Like, you know, don't bring the G out of Gigi in me, if you know what I mean. Like, don't.
Yeah.
But like, that actually like took me to another level of discomfort that I haven't really experienced. And it was very eye-opening,
Yeah.
to say the least. And I think that was the first time where I'm like, I don't know if this is for me.
Yeah,
like, I really don't. And, you know, it was like, it got to the point where I wouldn't answer. So then they would start sending more money just to talk to me, which I think, yeah, do it. Like, my time is valuable.
Yeah.
Don't waste it talking about literal shit.
Yeah.
And, you know, but
Yeah.
then it was like, well, I'm paying you this. Why are you not talking to me? Why are you not doing this? And it's just like, you did that but on your own free will. Like, I didn't tell you
To pay.
but now you're getting disrespectful. And it like I said, it's just there in that line, or in that industry, I think, you know, it's hard for people to really separate the lines. Like, they're so blurred,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Like,
And I think that it's because they are paying you, they expect you to do whatever the
they
heck
want.
they
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
And it's like, no,
Yeah.
you have limits.
yes. And a lot of times people just don't. I mean, it's the sex industry is already a very taboo thing still to this day, which I get both sides of it. But at the same time, like, I'm a person at the end of the day, and I have to demand my respect. I mean, think about women in the sense where, you know, strip clubs, or, I mean, even hookers at the end of the day on corners, like, we all look at them like, sometimes, like, I'm guilty of it. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Yeah.
like, there's a certain type of way I think that people should carry themselves in general. Just no matter what you do, because if you're not in certain ways, then you're gonna look a certain type of way, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but it doesn't. Oh, hi. It doesn't. Oh my God, I just lost my train of thought. I just don't think that it's fair to degrade people because they look at you, oh, you're in the sex industry, you're less than me, or you're willing to pay for sex, so you're a disgusting person.
Yeah.
You know, sex is normal, sex is natural. It's very, very natural part of life, right?
Yeah.
But if you're treating it like this taboo thing that people make it out to be, like, you're gonna have certain perceptions of it, right?
Yeah.
For me, I don't like that. It's normal. Why can't we normalize it? But within the same breath, it's not, like, people just make it such a bad thing.
I know. And then there's people that don't even want to like talk about it
No,
or, you know, mention it.
Right.
Or
But you know, it's funny. What I've noticed is the people that are like that are the freakiest ones. Girl.
yeah.
I will never ever out my in the past when I did it, like, I will never out certain people that paid for it, right? But let's just keep it 100. There were so many people that I've known for a very long time whose wives, you know, they stopped being my friend or stopped associating with me because of it, all while their man was paying behind the doors. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, honey,
Yeah.
you're passing judgment when
When your husband is out here.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't ever want to cutthroat people like that. But at the same time, like, stop being so damn judgmental. Take a step back and evaluate what's going on in your own life before you pass judgment. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But
it's true.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I feel like we all judge, but we don't know.
no, we don't. Yeah.
Behind everything. Like, we can judge. And isn't that a thing right now? Like, we don't judge.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
No, I've thought about doing that, but other times I'm like, no, my mouth, the way it's set up, just not gonna be good. But that's the thing too, like, being a parent change. I don't know, for you growing up, did your parents talk to you about that kind of stuff?
No.
So my mom and I were very close, and today's what, the 11th, so she passed away January 14th, 2016. Oh. So she was my best friend. This is actually tattoo in her name.
Your mom?
Yeah, she was incredible. She died of cancer, and you go through your whole life thinking that your mom's always going to be there, right? And when she's not, like, it's hard. It's the hardest thing ever. But she talked, like, there was nothing we couldn't talk about, ever. And I love that I have that with my kids, but especially my daughters. And everyone's like, you know, your kids are so respectful. Don't get it wrong. They can be assholes. Everyone can be. But they're, for the most part, respectful assholes, you know? Like, but, like, for them, like, we talk about everything. And something that has always, like, I've definitely been judged on is that, like, with my girls specifically, like, when they started getting curious about sex, like, I was like, okay, hey, guess what? Sex isn't going to feel the same the way it does for a guy. It's going to be a very different experience. What I want you to do is learn your body. Learn what feels good to you. Yeah. And that way, and to the point where I bought, and I didn't show them obviously, but certain toys so they can understand what it, you know, a good feeling is. And people are like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, no. Because what I don't want them to sit here and do is have this unrealistic expectation that, you know, it's going to be this great thing they're saving up for. Really, it's going to be like 2 minutes, if that, of just like what just happened. Yeah. I mean, let's keep it a buck here. Yeah. And I'm like, I want you to understand that sex is something that you should do because you want to do. You need to understand what it's going to be like. But also, you don't need somebody to make you feel good. Literally, there's nothing or no one in this world that can't do things for yourself that you can't. And that's in every aspect. If you're going to commit your time and your energy and your love to somebody, it needs to be on your terms and it needs to be understood. Yeah. And you don't need somebody to make that happen, like, ever. And when I tell you, like, the stuff that my kids tell me, and I've had other moms be like, are you serious? How do you know this? And it's like, because we talk. Like, there's literally nothing that my kids don't tell me about.
Yeah. You guys are open.
Very, very. And my husband, it took him a while to, you know, like, he's Black. And there's a huge difference in Black versus white households, as I'm sure there are in Hispanic? Yeah. In white and Black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Totally different. My father was very strict, like very physical in a lot of ways. And it changed me as a person. But my mom was so nurturing that it made it harder to accept that, because it's like you get two extremes.
Yeah.
You know, and they were separated when I was young. But like with my kids, it's just them being themselves.
Yeah.
I know my kids are going to drink. I know they're going to do certain things, or they're going to cuss. Like, our home is their safe place.
Yeah.
They can be themselves. They let me know, one, for safety, you know, because that's my biggest thing.
Yeah.
Is safety. But also, like, creating healthy communication and boundaries when they're young. I didn't have that. And from the sounds of it, you weren't able. So how many relationships did that make it hard for you to have?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like just so much volatile shit that could have been avoided if my parents or if my main parent would talk to me.
Yeah.
You know?
I got pregnant at 15.
See? Like, I intentionally got pregnant at 17 though.
I was 15, so
See,
and that's why I have a almost 20-year-old.
I know, girl.
Now
I
you
don't
guys know my age.
Whatever. I just turned 35, and like, are you the youngest mom around like your kids?
Yeah, they think we're brothers
all the time. They think I'm their sister. Like, we look a lot like, yes, but they're like, you're not the mom. And funny story, I started substitute teaching.
Oh, okay. And
so I'm at the high school, and people, do you know how many times I've had, at least 3, where I've had other teachers come up to me and like try to yell at me in the hall. Where's your pass? And I'm like, bitch, I'm a teacher. Do you see the badge? Like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, yeah, rude. Like, what the hell? Like, I don't, or in public, like, my daughter, we went to Vegas for her Sweet 16, right? See Suicide Boys.
Oh.
It was great. It was great. But she had on a Sweet 16 crown and a Sweet 16 sash.
Like the banner
Yeah,
thing,
and they're
whatever.
like, oh my God, congratulations. When's the wedding? I'm like, it says Sweet 16. Like, what are you talking about? Like, hello? And then these grown men.
So only women that are getting married go to Vegas?
Apparently. But I was just like these old men, I'm talking like gray hair and everything. I'd be like, oh, like hitting on her. And I'm just like, I'm always get it, girl. Like, I'll be your wingman. Like, yeah, but you are 60. She's 16. What the f are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, when I tell you the amount of times I have been put in situations where I really had to like be reeled back in.
Yeah.
Because of that is just crazy. Like,
I know.
But
there's like, creepy men out there. You gotta be careful.
And women. Sometimes women are wild. Like, calm down. Please. Because I'm too pretty for jail. I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
But that is true. Like, I feel like, because now I'm open to my kids.
Yeah.
Because my parents were not open to me.
Yeah.
So now I'm open to them, and I tell them, sometimes they look at me like I'm crazy because I'm talking about, things that might be awkward, but I'm like, you don't think I know? I know.
Yes. Literally. But it's great. Like, I've literally met you, 40 minutes ago, and I love you. And I can already tell you're an amazing mom, though. You're welcome. But, it's just certain things that you can't fake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you have been just a sweet, genuine person from the jump. But as a mom, we vibe different than other moms. I already know you and any of you other younger moms who have dealt, I know you guys get it. The looks we get, the whispers you hear. And I'm just like,
yeah,
girl.
Sometimes I even feel like I still get judged because I have a
1,000%.
20-year-old and it's like,
Yes.
but you're not that old. And I'm like, okay, I have to say my story again. Oh, I was 15.
Yes.
And it's like, do I really?
No, we don't. And that's something we need to stop doing, I think, collectively, is feeling like we owe anything to other people. But like, look at how we were raised. Look at the time we grew up in. You know, like that. And that's a huge thing, like being like in like social media in the way that I am. Like, I have just stopped. Like, okay, so for instance, I had went viral on TikTok because I had gotten box braids, right? I ended up having a full tummy tuck after I lost a baby. It was my sixth child. And after we were done, I ended up having to have full hysterectomy. So kids were just done. Like yeah. And so my youngest three little fat ass kids were like almost 10 pounds or at 10.
Yeah.
And they ripped my entire stomach muscle from the top to the bottom. So like, it didn't matter how much I worked out. It wasn't because my muscle had been split. And you know, when you have that much weight from having kids, like your skin was hanging. So I had to have all that done. I have very coarse, coily, like curly hair. And so I knew I wouldn't be able to shower and, you know, keep up with my hair. So I was like, let me get it braided for a couple of reasons. One, because I do have 3 biracial children and I do their hair. And so I was like, that's how I learn. So one of my girlfriends from school, I was like, oh, I can support a Black-owned business. I can learn, and it'll help take care of my hair in the process, you know? Well, I did that one trend where it was like, girl, don't do it. I'm just thinking about it. You know, I did it. And I didn't fully think, like, well, I didn't. It's not that I didn't fully think. I genuinely didn't think that it would be an issue. And so I posted it, and when I tell you they dragged my ass, talking about cultural appropriation and, you know, race this and that. And for some reason, I felt that I needed to explain it because they were saying, oh, she's going to be bald like Caillou. And I mean, they were kind of funny. Actually, I'm not going to lie. Like, some of the things that they were saying to me had me laughing. But it really like hurt my feelings because never was it my intention to make an entire race feel bad in any sort of way. Like, genuinely, it's how I learned. I wanted to know what it felt like before I let I think she was like 8 at the time, get box braids too. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to see if it would be something that she would be comfortable with, and, you know, but also for myself, well, I ended up having an allergic reaction to the hair. And so that night, like, literally, like, my whole body was red. I was itching. My eyes were starting to get puffy.
Wow.
And this was when COVID had, like, it was like 6 months after the whole pandemic, and we were actually able to, you know, have
like stay home and.
Well, no, it was like when we were allowed to actually go back into society.
Okay.
And so like the procedure had already been pushed back. And so I was like, I'm not missing this appointment because of some fucking hair issue, you know? And so I had to cut it all out, and it sucked, but like it was bad. And anyways, so the whole point of this was I felt the need to explain myself and make a whole nother video about it. And quite honestly, like, I was still getting backlash, and then it pissed me off because I'm like, look, like, I was trying to do the right thing. I was trying to let you guys know, like for a second, I didn't understand it because in my head, like, some people were saying, well, it's the same thing as Black women having, you know, blonde straight hair. No, it's really not.
Oh my
because
God.
there's Black women that have blonde hair or straight hair. That has nothing to do with being a white person, you know?
Yeah.
And then others were like, well, if you think back to, you know, technically Vikings had the braids first and did this and that. It's just like people trying to rebuttal and defend themselves. And it's like, this is just all over race. Like, to me, and it's not just hair. Like, in the Black culture, hair is so much more powerful and meaningful. And it's something that they've had to deal with. I mean, still, even to today,
I know.
You have little kids getting their locks and braids cut out. I would beat the shit out of someone, first of all, if they did that to my kid. And while I may not be a Black woman, I still deal with racism. I mean, my own father disowned me because races shouldn't mix. Or if you're gay, you know, he's done with us, which I don't care. I don't need those kind of people in my life.
Yeah.
If that's all it's going to take for you to have an issue with me. And that goes for anyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, we are all people. And it's so hurtful to have Black children and see that, or to have a Black husband and see what they go through, but also me dealing with it from not only white people, but Black people too. It's just, it gives you a different perspective on life. It truly does. And so the whole point of me telling you that was that, like, it didn't matter what the justification was. People are going to, you know, say something no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
And they're going to drag you. They're going to have an opinion. So do what the fuck makes you happy at the end of the day. Because it literally doesn't matter. You can be the most perfect person in the world, which doesn't really exist,
and then you still get
and you're still gonna get it. So
I think that, like, now that you have, like, you're an influencer and you do all this and you've done a lot of things, you know, you should just, like, do you think that it affects you, or do you feel like you let it go?
it used to.
It used to affect you. Okay. That's what I was going to say. Like, don't let it get to you, girl.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I
Okay.
think the things that get to me the most are probably the things that are said to my kids.
Yeah.
But my kids are, like I said, they're assholes, and that's in the best way. Like, they're still learning how to, you know, navigate emotions and how to be or not to be reactive in situations. But social media is the world we live in now, right?
Yeah.
So for them, it's pretty much all that they've ever known. And they've taught me a lot. Like, so much about that. Not like from the technology aspect, but like, oh, well, it's just a troll, or it's this or this or this. Like, I don't care. Like, I would say, though, that probably bothers me the most, but at the same time, like, I still don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're good, I'm good, unless it's something like an actual threat. Like, but I also have stopped posting so much because I have had to find myself.
Yeah.
In the last 2 years especially, I have changed and grown in ways I never thought were possible. And eliminating social media has played a huge part in that. Like, a huge part. I just don't feel the need to keep up with things anymore. And it has been so freeing that I don't remember feeling that way ever. Like, genuinely just not giving a shit. Oh, well, you didn't post today, you're going to do this. Or, you know, you have to make sure you're doing this to keep your numbers up. Or
so you were really like focused on all your social media.
Yeah, I was.
And you were,
even in my personal life, like, people are like, are you okay? You don't post anymore. And I'm very blunt, and I'm not afraid to say what I think, and whether that be a comment on someone's post or this or that. Like, I'll scroll here and there, but like, half of the time I disconnect, because it's been, I don't know, like, it's just healthier. Like, I feel so much better, like, not being comparing or being compared to others, and looking at it like, oh, well, I wish I had that, or I wish my house looked like this, or, you know, anything like that. I don't do it anymore.
and it's like draining, no?
It's so draining.
It's draining.
So draining. And that's one less thing for me to worry about.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I can't
And I
complain.
think it won't hurt, like, if you still do like a picture here and there, and like,
exactly.
but not get too like deep, you know, into like, let it affect you or drain you.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing too. Like I'm so thankful for you, you know, doing this with me and letting me be a part of it.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, I'm rebranding who I am, and it starts with the name change for me. And I think this is kind of be like, or this is gonna kind of be like my, I don't want to say coming out, but like my reintroduction.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Like, it's Gigi.
Yes, it's Gigi now.
Yeah.
Gigi. And I love it. Like, I mean, and another thing too that I like, so obviously the Black Lives Matter movement,
yeah.
right? So I wanted to protest. I wanted to scream. I wanted to get angry with other people, right? And my husband is like, G, stop. You know, you have to be safe. You have to do this. Let's, you know, find other ways to make a difference. And for me, like, it's not that I specifically and only focus on working with Black people at all, but for me, like, my platform, I do get to choose and say, this is how I'm going to make a difference, is building up my community. So I do like to work with Black owned businesses. I like to represent them. My friend Candy, she had a or has a lingerie line that I got to, the pictures are on my profile still. Beautiful stuff. I loved it. And Black photographer, amazing work. Like I love being, and it might not be a big difference to other people, but to me, it's like, yes, I get to start with the small things right there. That's, you know what I mean? Like, I could risk my life. I could go out here. Not that I won't. Don't get it twisted. But at the same time, you have to take everything into consideration. Or I can choose to not associate with businesses or, excuse me, entities, if you will, that are known for having different values that I want to support. I've turned down so many modeling agencies and contracts and jobs because, one, I don't like people having control over me or my money. But two, it's like, it's the best way I can represent my family and the people I love, and people that do, I don't want to say need help, because the Black, they're amazing. Black people are amazing. They're, you know what I mean? Like, they don't need help, but it's a little bit of a difference that I'm able to contribute and
to them, like,
exactly to them. Yeah. And again, small way. I'm nobody big by any means, but I take pride in the fact that, like, it's known, like, hey, G will definitely, she would love to help your business grow, or, you know, get this out there or that, just for the, like, no money. Like, I'm not out here trying to take and take and take. Like, I genuinely care.
And you want to help
and I
them.
want to help. And again, it's not just the Black community. I mean, Hispanic, whatever. Like, I want to do that because I care. And again, it's a small way to be like, no, guys, that you little racist shits. No, like,
So you said you're lingerie girl. And is she here?
Yeah, she's, well, okay, so she ironically was one of my bosses at Hooters. I think she's still in Indiana.
But, like, she designs it and, like,
so
makes it happen, or
it's Candy. So, oh my gosh, I will send you the link.
Yeah.
And her page, I'm pretty sure she's still actively doing it, but she had some beautiful stuff. Beautiful.
But she, like, is a designer, and
again, I'm not sure if she designs all the products herself, or if I'm not sure how that works.
That's interesting.
But it's great stuff. I love it. You would too. Have to get you some.
No, I'm telling you, like, I think it's more of the, like, not loving myself yet, like, my body.
Like, okay, so
I feel like
you always had that?
No. Well, before I got pregnant, I wasn't super skinny. Yeah. But I wasn't this big.
Okay.
So
is it like, okay, so when you say big, like, what is it that you...
My stomach.
Your stomach. The stomach. It's always the stomach. Because, girl, you're...
I think it's my stomach. Well, if I get rid of my stomach, I think I'd be so happy. Yeah.
No, and that's a huge thing. And I love it because, like, talking to men outside of that, though, they're like, I love it. I mean, shit, like, I'm sure, yeah. But for us, it's just like, you're not used to having that there. I mean, if I can make, I used to call it Tina the talking tummy, and I would, like, squish it together. And, like, a British accent, like, hi, I'm Tina the talking tummy. I'm just like, you have to make light of it, but it's like, deep down, it's actually making me want to, like cry and vomit, because I'm like, this is gross.
Yeah.
But then it's just like, but I earned this.
Yeah.
You earned that. Like, and that breaks my heart, because so many women aren't even given the chance to earn it. And I know it feels like kind of a dickhead thing to say and, like, flaunt around our insecurities that women can have, but it's just like, It's real. Like,
Yeah.
like let me soak in this right now. But I think you're beautiful.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. And you will get there.
I know I
You
will.
will.
I feel like I'm getting there little by little.
Yeah. You are. Girl, okay, so
Little by little, I will get there.
yeah, you will. I mean, okay, so how do you feel though? Like, because for me, this is where I struggle, and I'm not trying to sound like a jerk when I say this, but like my biggest thing is know your body type, right? Like, wear whatever you want. I get that, but like know your body type. It bothers me to no end when I see, how do I say this without like getting completely canceled? Like, I guess for me, like, I knew okay, I'll say this. So I had the stomach that, went past. The fupa. My fupa was on steroids, okay? Like, steroids. And I would wear Spanx every day, and I still hated how I looked. But for me, like, I would never wear pants that the fupa couldn't be, like, tucked into. I don't know why that bothers me so much, and I'm sorry. Please don't care. I'm just being honest. Know your body.
Yeah.
Like one, isn't that like hella uncomfortable? Too?
Yeah.
But like that's
Then when you go pee and then you gotta fix it back to its to place. Like
yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Like
every time I go pee, it's like, oh no, I can't wear that because I can't go pee.
No. Oh my god. Okay, so the new ones though are great because they have the little slit.
Zipper, like the zipper?
Well, no, girl, mine just had this little like it would like cross over the other, but like all you had to do is this.
Oh.
I told my husband, I'm like, hey, we ain't gotta worry about them Spanx today. I got the good ones on. You just slide it apart.
It's free. It's free open.
Literally, like, you gotta be careful. Oh, sorry, not to sit like,
Yeah.
because coochie lips are coming out. And can't have that. But, like, yes, I don't know. Like, I hate, and again, like, I'm very body positive, like, big, small. I don't care what you are. Just be a good person. But, like, and that's what I teach my daughters. Like, look, you look beautiful, but those pants, let's try something else.
Yeah.
Because it's not flattering. And two, it can't be comfortable. But also, it's just like,
Let's be real.
Yes.
Let's
keep, it's very hard for me to sugarcoat things.
Yeah.
And people either love me or hate me. Like, there's not much middle ground with me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I would want someone to tell me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Literally, like, girl.
And that's what I tell my daughter sometimes because she'll ask me, she's like, does this look good? And I'm like, nope. And she's like, but I think it does. I'm like, then wear it.
Right. Like, why are you asking me that?
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you have to be so mean? I'm not being mean. Like, don't ask for my opinion if you don't want it. Hello.
That's what I'm like, but then why are you asking? Just wear it.
Well, so, okay, what's your daughter's how old?
She's turning 12 next week.
Turning 12. Okay, so you haven't hit.
Not yet. Uh-huh.
Okay, because let me tell, like, I love my daughters. Don't get me wrong. My 12-year-old, she'll be 13 in June. She is the biggest jerk, though. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like, I have never wanted to strangle the shit out of someone more in my life. She's a Gemini. Okay, my youngest daughter and my youngest son were born on the same day.
Oh.
But years apart, obviously.
Yeah, but it's the same day.
They're Geminis, and you guys are psychotic. Like, psycho. I'm a Scorpio, and I don't care what anybody says. I believe. Hey! Like, I believe in that stuff. Like, I am very connected, very spiritual.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what did I do?
Yeah.
What did I do to deserve this?
And
Like,
I'm a Virgo.
see, that's how
And
we
they
get
say,
along.
but they say they don't get along.
Girl,
Scorpio
no.
and Virgo.
Because-
I've always
No,
heard
okay,
that.
so every ex that I've had or like naturally attracted to have been Virgos, which is why I love you, clearly.
But I've heard they don't get along.
They test the my patience. Like, y'all actually piss me off sometimes.
Really?
A lot of times. But I love you. Like, we're so much alike. That's what it is. It's just because we're very, very similar. And you guys are just more cocky. Is that true? See? It's not a bad thing.
But I've heard that they don't get along. Virgo and Scorpios, that they don't get along. And I'm like, but we've been together for how long?
It's literally
21
hit or miss.
years?
No, it's literally a hit or miss thing. Like, either you do or you don't. That simple. Like, it's weird. And see, like, so my husband's a Capricorn.
Oh, okay.
And we couldn't be more opposite, including skin tone to personality to draw, like, but opposites attract, and like, you need that. I'm huge on balance. You need balance. Need it. And like, it's been a very, I mean, we've been together for 14 years, I think, coming up in May.
Okay.
And yeah, he's actually been the only man to be faithful. He's never called me out of my name, even though I've deserved it. Like, the man has patience of a saint. I don't know how he does it. But then on the other side, he gets on my last fucking nerve for the smallest things that I'm just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done. Like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, don't. Yeah. So, I don't know. It works, though. It works.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
I know.
I don't.
It's just, I feel like that's how we all feel sometimes. Like, okay, get out of my face. Get out. I'm done. But then it's like, no, I need you.
No, right. Like, I think I started a list in my phone. And it literally, like, the title of it in my notes is things that he does that literally piss me off to no extent. So, for instance, one thing is he's a nail biter.
Oh.
But the thing is with him, he will bite it and then he'll start, like, going, but with the nail in his mouth, and he'll, like, be doing this out the corner of his eyes, waiting for me to look at him.
To say something.
To see how long it takes for me to flip the fuck out on him.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why?
He wants to get. He wants that reaction of you.
He is weird, girl. And the thing is, he's like, I'm the oldest of, so technically 8 kids with step siblings included growing up, and he's the youngest. Oh. So it's like, well, we're the youngest. You gotta get in. I'm just like, okay. And I'm just like, and I'm the oldest, and clearly I'm still fucking babysitting a toddler. Like, it's like in my nature to be the mom of the group all the time, including my husband. I'm just like, he's a good guy, so I guess I'll deal with him.
You have to be patient. You've been patient.
There, whatever's higher than patience is what I am. Like, good God Almighty.
So going back to the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
So what would you say? So that would be your freakiest thing that you've had to.
Yeah.
That you've got, or was there crazier?
So okay. I don't know if you're gonna have to blur this one out or whatever, but have you ever heard of a hold?
No.
Okay. It's CUCK hold, HOLD, okay? And this guy was like, so basically it's men with like micro wee-wees. Like, I'm not even kidding, like smaller, like the size or smaller of my pinky. And so what they do is,
so they don't have one?
Girl, like,
or what?
I don't know if you're gonna have to blur this out. Okay, so I was like, what? And like, I spent an hour Googling this. I'm not even kidding. Like, I went down a rabbit hole that I didn't even know existed. So basically it's like where a man who is very, very tiny, he is turned on by watching you have intercourse while demeaning him for having a very small
thing.
And so then obviously that led to images and then to videos. And when I tell you, like, this is how they masturbate.
With his finger, like.
Pinky, like, I can't make this up. And that's fully erect. And I'm just like, I'm really good at talking. I'm very mean. I'm not going to lie. So I make a great, like, findom and, you know, I love that kind of stuff. But that was a whole nother level where I'm just like, what in the actual hell is happening here?
Yeah.
Like, no, I mean, I never did anything in person. It was always, you know, videos.
Yeah.
But I would make private videos or content for my customers. And that one, I blocked immediately.
Yeah.
I was just, and not because I was judging or it was just like, I don't even know if I could do that with a straight face. If I'm being honest, like, I feel like I would have laughed, like, and not in a good way. I wouldn't have been, like, you wouldn't have gotten your money's worth. I'm sorry. Like, that one was just a little a little much. There was a lot of requests for peeing.
Just to pee?
Just to pee, yeah. Which, all right, I mean, I never did it because I was like, I didn't need, like, again, I don't know how I'm allowed to be a mom because I am so immature, like, sexually. Like, you can say something, that's what she said, or, like, it was very hard to keep a straight face doing a lot of that.
Wow.
Or trying to, like, actually be sexy. Like, I'm too fucking goofy for that.
How long did you do that?
Ooh, I don't even want to say a full year. Like, when I tell you I get irritated so easy, it's a Scorpio in me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, like, I genuinely, I just don't like people feeling like they just get access to me all the time. And then,
Yeah.
like, again, my mouth is set up real bad.
Or
It
that you
just,
have to be
or that I
there.
have to,
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
like, no, like, I literally am, that's just not me. Don't get me wrong, the money was great. It was amazing. But a whole nother aspect of that I will say is I'm a perfectionist. And so when making videos with my husband, I started to feel like it was a job. Like there wasn't, I don't
Pleasure.
yeah, like don't get me wrong, it's still pleasurable, but for me, if the angle's off, okay, we have to reshoot it. Well, or I don't like this angle. I don't like, or the background in my house, like if there was something that was slightly off, like in the background, a towel that was left there or
Yeah.
something.
You wanted it perfect.
Yes, and I had a friend of mine he was like, motherfuckers don't care about that. They just want to see you get,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, but for me, like I have my own mental health issues to where that I have OCD, I have anxiety, I have bipolar, you know what I mean? Like all of that combined, it can really affect so many different ways. But specifically, I'm like, I don't want my marriage and my sex life to feel like a job. Like it's too much like, well, okay, so now we have to time this. I have to make sure that, there's no background noise. So then it was staying up even later to make sure we could film and no kid, you know what I mean? Like no interruptions. Or then it's just like, okay, I'm not doing this because I want to. And other people are like, that's like a dream job. You're getting paid to have sex with your husband, but it's not for me.
Yeah.
Now it's a job. Now it's something that's not normal or natural in the ways that I feel like it should be. And I didn't want that to affect it.
Yeah.
Genuinely didn't want to have that part of my life be affected from outside things,
Yeah.
So I think it was like a culmination of things that really just, I was like, you know what, I'm good.
Yeah.
So it was good.
And like you wouldn't consider just doing yourself videos or pictures or
So I do still have some that request, or like I'll do, and these are very these are people that I don't want to say personally that I associate with like on a date, but they're people that I'm comfortable enough and trust enough because it's separated from, like OnlyFans, like you have to provide like proof of identity and going into your bank account, and then you have taxes and all of that stuff that goes into play. So for me to just, give them like my personal Cash App or them having my phone number, like nobody ever really got my phone number. Like that's separate. I mean, you can find everything about a person just from a phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the clients that I still do have, like I have enough of a trust built and they respect my boundaries that I have put in place to where it's like we do FaceTime calls for money in exchange, and it's not anything that's making me uncomfortable to the point where it's like, no, you know what I mean? Like if I say no, not today, or I'm busy, that's it. They respect it. And then we move on. It's not like a constant, like, yes, or like they feel like I owe them anything. It's just a very great mutual understanding. My husband knows about it. Like he, you know what I mean? Like there's so many factors that are taken into consideration for me to still do that.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to doing like, nude photo shoots or certain things like that. It's just, I don't want people to think that they can just access me whenever they want or when it's convenient for them because they're paying me.
Yeah.
Like,
and then that makes you feel like you have to commit
Yes.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. Like I'm a control freak.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like I need to be in control to maintain my sanity.
Yeah. So with this new Gigi,
Mm-hmm.
what are we expecting?
That's a good question. Honestly, I'm not putting any limitations on myself. Um, I am a huge believer in everything happens for a reason,
Mm-hmm.
no matter who it may be or what it may be, and timing and alignment. So for me, as bad as I may want things, if it's not meant for me, then I've learned to accept it. Something I haven't always been able to do. Throw in that control freak part. Like for me, it's like, oh, this doesn't happen, then I'm failing. I'm doing this, and this wrong. No, I've learned to accept it's just not meant for me right now.
Yeah.
So I I am actually starting to write a book, my
Okay.
own book. I've been through things in my life that a lot of people don't even go, and I'm talking like before I was even 21 years old, that people haven't ever experienced or never will experience in a lifetime, from children to divorce to abuse to death. All of that in such a
Yeah.
short time has made me have to grow and grow up a lot faster than others, but just grow in life quicker. And um also starting my own podcast and talking about the really hard shit that people don't want to. And for me, that's what my main focus is going to be for this year specifically. Um, I have been dealing with some health issues over the last few years too that have kind of played a part in my social media presence.
Yeah.
And that alone has been extremely frustrating. Sorry, I don't want to get emotional. But I'm learning to sorry.
No, you're fine.
No, I get it. Good.
You're fine.
I'm learning to accept things. It just the biggest thing for me that it's changed is accepting that people who are supposed to be in your life are there, and accepting the fact that, again, things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
And the more you force it and try to make things happen, that it truly doesn't matter in so many ways, the things that we worry about and focus on. So I'm learning that I'm probably not gonna be able to live as long as I wanted to. So the time that I do have, I'm gonna put forward and focus on those that do appreciate me and value my time and
Yeah.
things like that. So, that's been a huge thing for me in moving forward in life.
But why do you feel that way? That you're not gonna be here that long?
I've just been diagnosed with some stuff that
Oh.
makes it, a little bit more real in ways that I guess I've had that validation. So sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
It's just, I don't know, like, it's not like I'm dying in the next year or anything.
Yeah.
But the diagnosis is just it's not a matter of if, but when it turns into the C word. I don't like saying
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And the life expectancy of it has been, there's a very wide range, but a lot of the people that are diagnosed with what I'm facing is, their life expectancy isn't past like 60, 65. So it's like, I like to try to be hopeful and think that it'll change. But if I'm being realistic, my mom, she passed away at 44 of lung cancer. My Mimi before her, so her mom, and then her mom's mom. Like it's kind of a thing in our family for the women to have some type of
You
serious
gotta have
health issue.
faith.
I do, and that's the thing too. It's like I try not to focus on it, but when you're told that when you're told certain things and you're faced with the reality of there actually being a time limit, it just makes you really appreciate and focus on the now. I used to focus on the future so much, like, having to do this by that time and be successful here or whatever it may be by certain points in life. And now it's just like, I have to, for my own sanity and for my kids' sake, I can only be in the moment and take a day at a time.
Yeah.
Because genuinely, like, we're not guaranteed, but that doesn't mean that you stay in the negative mindset either. Like, I'm just being as realistic as I can, possibly,
Yeah.
I've withdrawn a lot, and I think that has probably been the hardest thing for others to understand because I don't go around talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't tell people. It's just not something, oh, hey, by the way, I'm kind of sick, like,
Yeah. Or this is happening.
or this is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want people to look at me with that sad, like, pity look either. You know what I mean? Like,
And like, I don't think anybody wants us to look at us with like feel bad about, like, I don't want anyone to like
Yeah.
look at me and be like, oh, look at her poor thing.
Yeah.
Or, like you already have a lot and
yeah.
you don't need someone to feel sorry for
Yeah,
you.
exactly. And it's just, and plus that when they look at you, it's like a constant reminder on top of it. Like, I already feel like shit all the time. So I don't want to just, you know what I mean? Like I just want to focus on contributing something, and I'm really bad at like giving great advice, but having a hard time of actually taking it.
Yeah.
And so many people are like, you should write a book. You literally could make a Lifetime movie out of your life. And it's just like, yeah, I could. So why the fuck don't I?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how many people I talk to that secretly have like dealt with some of the similar things that I have, maybe not to the extreme extent, but it's just like, I never realized how relatable my life story actually is.
Yeah.
So why not monetize off of it? But also, who knows? Somebody out there, it could actually help them understand and be like, I'm not alone. She can do it. And she's doing it with 5 kids. Like, so yeah, that's my goal for myself this year. And I intend to make it happen.
And as an influencer, will you continue that?
Yeah, I will. Again, who doesn't like to have thousands of likes on pictures?
Yeah.
2, I like getting dressed up. I like getting to wear it, even if it's for 2 hours just to do a photo shoot. Like, it's fun. It is, but I'm learning to make sure it's on my terms and there's not any pressure on it.
Yeah.
And I want to see too, like I want to see and hear other people. I want to see them have that confidence built. And like, I mean, I'm a little ass girl who from a little nowhere Indiana, like to see other people be like, wow, like, you are really beautiful because you're just being yourself.
Yes.
Like, seriously, you need to. Matter of fact, let's schedule a date. We're gonna have our own shoot. How about that? It's a deal.
Okay.
We're gonna get you.
Okay, it's a deal. We got a photo shoot going.
And y'all better follow her because she's a killer.
No,
But yes.
that is something that I want to do. And I've told him already, like, I want to do a photo shoot.
Let's do it. I have all the stuff for it.
Oh.
So be ready, world. Miss Letty about to pop off.
All these, like, what is it? Like the cellular? Or what are they?
The
or
cellulite?
Not? Yes!
Girl, okay. So, weird thing. All right. So this is kind of weird. Please don't judge, but it's the truth. So my husband was the first Black man that I ever entertained. Again, like, I was literally raised, races don't mix. And don't get me wrong, it's not because I wasn't ever attracted. I literally was just scared to. Like, I was told not to. So my ex-husband, him and several other exes, actually, I should say, made me feel so gross because, like, being just, like I said, I might have been this small, but like cellulite, it's just a natural thing that our genetics,
we all have.
Yeah. So they would be like, oh, you got cottage cheese legs, cover that up, or would just say things to me like, even though it was one time, it's still things that just stick with you as a woman.
It stays.
Yes. Like, it's something wrong with me now, right? And so I remember when my husband and I were, I was changing during something very early on of us dating. And I was like, no, turn the light off. Like, I don't want you to see my, and he's like, what? I was like, yeah, I don't want you to see my cottage cheese legs. And he's like, that shit's hot. And when I tell you, I think my jaw literally dropped because I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you mean? Like, why are you being weird about this? I'm like, I think this is how, I was like, are you joking? Like, this is not a funny joke, because to me, it was really personal. Like, it was a legitimate insecurity.
From your other...
From exes, yeah.
Yeah.
Or even how my dad even would say stuff like, you're fat, and or you need to do this, stop eating so much, you're gonna, I'm like, so from a young age, like, when I tell you the difference in races and how men are in that aspect just was mind-blowing to me. Like, he appreciated that. And I think overall, like, it's something pretty common in other races. Not saying that all white men are like that. I don't. But from my personal experience, white men have very specific views.
Or like a high demand on how a woman has to be or look.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that just instantly was like, hello, I think I like you because nobody's ever said that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, and I've learned over time, like, it's very different cultural appreciation that I've grown to love and appreciate myself.
Yeah.
So
he tells me that all the time too.
Yeah.
He's like, but like, and I'm over here hiding
right.
it, and he's
no,
like,
it's a legit no. Outside of white men, again, not like yeah. But yeah, it's crazy, and I love it, and it's like, okay, tell me more.
And I think that what makes a woman look beautiful is their confidence
and how they're loved on top
and
of
how
that, girl.
Yeah.
Yes,
I feel like if a woman is out there, I mean, a plus size, whatever size she is, but if she's out there like confident and like, she's gonna look beautiful no matter what.
Well,
because I feel like, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Like,
it's because it's true. You glow differently.
Yeah.
So with the plus size stuff, I don't know if you've noticed or if you've talked to any other women, but like, so there's this thing where us bigger girls, our accounts get banned really quick.
Oh, really?
Bad. So like, I don't know if it's other people reporting it because, you have if you just read through and through comments in a plus size woman's, you're going to see some stuff. So I feel like maybe those people are reporting it more because they're like, it's disgusting to look at.
Oh.
But, so for instance, I don't want to name drop because I don't want to get sued, but let's take a very, very popular, established certain type of magazine. And they've been pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, consistent on the type of women that they post.
Yeah.
Okay. Certain size and shape. They have full nude pictures. I'm talking full nude on their Instagram. Okay.
On Instagram?
On Instagram. And I have literally screenshots because I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, this is annoying, right?
Like, your account is being banned.
So my account has been banned for me wearing literally a swimsuit.
Oh.
Or it's been reported, or if I'm in a thong swimsuit, for instance. And I will admit, there's been stuff in the past that was completely inappropriate for me to post publicly. I'm not going to lie. But again, I was trying to build my numbers. I was trying to, because at the time I was making money off of this.
Yeah.
And so like there was a couple groups that I was in, BBW plus size groups, that us women would talk and be like, have you seen this? Like, oh, look, another one of our accounts, or I can't post because somebody has reported me again, this and this and this. So you can't post for 24 hours. Like, I lost my first page at, I think, 10,000K, and thank God I was able to rebuild up into this one. But it is crazy, absolutely crazy, the way that and I don't know who does it. I don't know if it's actually Instagram itself or if it's a bunch of different things, but like they are very quick to ban us, to bash us. But then you have skinny, and I hate saying that because to me, I think women are just beautiful for who they are, like you
Yeah.
said. But it's a very real thing. And it's still more socially acceptable to be nude as a skinny woman as opposed to nude or even partially covered up as a bigger woman.
Yeah.
Why?
And you know what? That's what I think, because we all we see is perfect body, perfect, perfect, perfect.
But
And
perfect
that's
to
why
who?
I know, but I think that's why sometimes it gets to like
Mhm.
it gets to me like
Yes.
that's how I have to look.
Yeah.
Or that's how I have to be.
Mhm.
Or that's how I want to be because
Yep.
that's all I see.
Yes.
But and that's why I like when I see plus size models,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, she looks hot. Because that's how
Yes.
my body is. Like,
Yes,
you know?
exactly. But you don't see it that way because internally you don't feel what they and that's another thing. People think that like I mean, so much is edited nowadays, right?
Yeah.
But like you might see perfect on the outside, but internally she probably like it's very likely that she hates herself.
Yeah.
Because I was that person at one point. It took me getting like at first I was so hesitant to do it, and then when I started, I'm a nerd. So like I started looking at numbers the more I researched getting into this stuff, and honestly how I was like, bro, you can make like $500 off of posting a picture of your feet. Sign me the like seriously. And so I was like, okay, well the money, the numbers just really got I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna give it a shot. I've had people for years tell me things and offer me stuff, so why not like just put it out there?
Yeah.
And there it like I mean in the first 24 hours of having the OnlyFans up, I literally just from people signing up, I hadn't even like posted like to where people could buy videos or anything else. I think I maybe had one full nude picture on there. I had made over $3,000 in 24 hours.
Wow.
Some people are like, that's not a lot. But when you're
It
new
is
to
a
this,
lot.
that, yeah, exactly.
To me, it is a
It's
lot.
a lot to me. Yeah.
But it's also a lot to you to
for me to look at myself and
for
be
you
like,
to do that too.
exactly. Like that for me, I was just like, oh my God. And then after that, I mean, like if I wish I could honestly give you like a ballpark of what I made, but I was making so much that I was spending so much at the time. I don't even know. Like I genuinely,
Yeah.
but it was enough to where I was able to buy and go places and do things that I'd never been able to do before,
Yeah.
you know, or give my kids things that they hadn't been able to have, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially going from being a stay-at-home mom for 10, 11 years
Yeah.
to that. I was like, shit, I'm a dumbass. I could have been doing this. Like,
Yeah.
honestly. And again, it was exhausting for me. I don't knock anyone. And there's so many platforms now, though, that you can be on where you don't show your face. Hell, even
Oh.
on OnlyFans.
You don't have to show your face.
No, there's a lot of women, like I have associates who you know, had very prestigious jobs, you know, like nurses, out like full-time teachers, principals, um, lawyers.
And they were
Yeah.
yeah.
They never showed their face. They made sure like their recording was in a very simple, like they only used certain sheets and they had a backdrop. Like you wouldn't know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's crazy. Like I mean, I don't knock it and I hate that people do, but at the same time, like I get it. I get so many aspects of the hesitance. I mean, think it's how we've been taught
Yeah.
our whole, you know what I mean? Like,
I know.
but talking about it helps.
Yeah.
I mean, genuinely is.
And it's also like everyone should respect,
Mm,
you know, whoever.
Yeah.
I mean, you do you, I do me.
Right. I've never understood why, like, what happens in my bedroom or your bedroom bothers people so, like, honestly, like,
Mhm.
I don't get it. If I think about sex and other people, I'm looking at like old people and being like, you think that he still hits it from the back? Like that's something I think about. Or I'll be like, I bet there's some freaks. Like, I don't think negative stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I genuinely like, and it sure the fuck doesn't make me uncomfortable or get out of my feelings to the point where I have to start some unnecessary drama. Like I don't
Yeah.
get it. But
And I feel like you experiment, like if you were at Hooters and then you were a stripper
Yeah.
and then so like that also like opens you to,
Yeah.
you know,
No, when I tell
anything.
you, like when I was stripping, I made more money. And the girls, like it was really frustrating because the other girls, they hated me for it. But like, it's psychological in so many ways because I would think about it like this. We want what we can't have, right? So for instance, I would wait until like the last minute of the second song that I danced to take off my top because once they pay you,
Oh.
they seen it next,
Uh-huh.
right? But I made the most money talking to people. Literally just okay, I take that back. The most money I made was when a guy wanted me to stand on his hand in my heels and apply pain to him, which, I mean, dude was just sitting there 100 after 100 just for me to step on his hand. Great, easy money. And he was buying me drinks. Like, it was great.
Yeah.
But, like, actually sitting down and talking to a lot of the men who, they go in there because they're missing something in life, right? Like, at the end of the day, they're still people.
Yeah.
And they may not have the personality to go or the confidence to go out and talk to a pretty woman, right? So they know that they can pay for it and still get some type of satisfaction. Like when I tell you, it's different to be able to actually connect with somebody because they genuinely care like I did, as opposed to and if a female's only doing it because they're making money, that's fine.
Yeah.
But at least like treat them like they're people, not
Yeah.
like they're a transaction. And I think that part of me and being an empathetic person has allowed me to be so much like taken so much further in certain, you know, jobs that I have had.
Yeah.
Because again, it's not that judgmental. I don't care if you like I don't care what you've done, who you are. As long as you're a good person and you're respectful, we're the same. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why it's so hard for people to have that.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't. But people just want to be treated like other
I
people.
know.
And it sucks, but
I know. It sucks because we want to change things, but it's like you're never gonna change.
no, not that
Change.
easily.
Yeah, no.
I mean, shit, 2025 years,
I
and we
know.
still are dealing with these things. I mean,
And I feel like it just gets worse.
yes.
It's sad to say it, and I shouldn't like. It's not funny, but it's like.
But I mean, what else are we supposed to do? All you can do is laugh because
Yeah.
you like if you're able to just look at things and be like, "This is real life." Like,
Yeah.
what?
I know.
What?
Well, thank you so much, Gigi, for sharing and some interesting stuff. Thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
me. It's been great. I love this.
No, thank
so
you for
much.
coming, and I wish you the best
Thank
with
you.
this new Gigi that you want to become and that you are wanting for yourself.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You're the
you.
best.
Thank you. And thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. It's free.
Absolutely.
And this was another episode of Wine Not Podcast.